I'm Miss Ing from the Shaler North Hills Library, and welcome to the third episode of A Better Way. And we really hope that you're finding in this series that it's not just me, giving my opinions, that if you go to the site up there, you can find referenced and vetted sources with real experts, and you can find more, and you can also find lots of links to books that you can use when talking with your child about some of these issues. Now, today's episode might not seem like it's a big deal, but it certainly was back when these McGuffey readers were popular. And sometimes we still do hear similar language today. These McGuffey readers, if you remember, this was featured in our first episode on boys and girls, and I said that we should just throw them out, but Miss Jill said no, we should keep them around, and I said yes, so we can mock them, and I still like to mock them, but also so that we can see how far we've come. This is directly from the McGuffey Reader, page 25 of the Eclectic First Reader. When you fall down, you must not cry, but get up and run again. If you cry, the boys will call you a baby. Now, you may have heard that. Even Frankie Valli sang that song, Big Girls Don't Cry, right? There was Tears of a Clown. So many songs, and half of my brain is song lyrics, if not more. But most people don't get their parenting and child-loving advice from song lyrics. I understand that. But one of the things that I have found, and that I've done it myself, and I've had it done to me, is that when we tell a child, or someone tells us, even as adults, not to cry, it's not out of the aspect that, don't cry, you're being a big baby, or I'll give you something to cry over, that kind of thing. It is rather that we hate to see those whom we love in pain. And so very often we will say, oh, don't cry, everything will be okay, don't cry, don't cry. And that's understandable. That's when we let our emotions and our empathy and our love for these people get in the way of realizing that it's important to let people express their feelings. We love to express our feelings. I love to express my feelings. People around me don't enjoy it when I express my feelings. But children, as part of their development, they need to know that it is okay to cry. And there are some wonderful books that have been recently written, and I'm going to share one with you in just a little bit when we come back. But for right now, I hope you've enjoyed mocking the McGuffey Reader. See you soon. This is a wonderful, delightful book that came out not too long ago. It's by Jaunty Howley, and it is called Big Boys Cry. It was Levi's first day at a new school, and Levi was scared. Papa didn't know what to do. So he said to Levi, "Big boys don't cry." And so Levi didn't, and he went off to school. On his way, Levi saw a fisherman in tears. He was setting off for a long trip. And you can see he's saying goodbye to his kids, and he's going to miss them. But big boys don't cry, said Levi. And next, Levi saw a harpist lost in his music and memories. And he also had tears in his eyes. He saw some passionate poets practicing their prose. Big boys don't cry, said Levi. Levi saw grandparents and new parents and rich men and not so rich men. He saw proud men and army men and young men and old men and biker men and brainy men and even baker men crying. In fact, Levi's almost to school. What is he seeing? Big boys were crying everywhere. All these big boys. And so Levi, he let loose. Soon enough, he arrived at school. And he has to stand in front of the class. And in the end, Levi's first day of school wasn't so scary. And before he knew it, it was time to go home. He even made a friend. On his way back, he thought about all that he had seen. Remember all those people who were crying? They're still there. Not too many tears now. And you can see the smile on Levi's face. When Levi got home, Papa had tears in his eyes. "Why are you crying?" asked Levi. "It was your first day at a new school," said his dad. "And I was scared." "Papa, big boys do cry," said Levi. "And that is okay," said Papa. It's okay to cry no matter how big you are. And I will tell you, this is just a personal aside, one of the things I'm pretty lucky in my other job, I get to officiate at weddings. And one of the most wonderful things to ever see is the father of the bride or brides just crying and crying. These big, big, big dudes, and little dudes and all kind of dudes crying. And they're crying from joy. And they probably may be crying from a little bit of fear too. But big boys do cry, no matter what the McGuffey reader says, right? Yeah. This one is called Why Do We Cry? This is a beautiful book as well. And this is by Fran Pintadera. Mario had been quiet all morning. His mother sat patiently beside him, and finally, in a small, near whisper, the little boy said, "Mom, why do we cry?" She thought about it for a moment and then answered, "We cry for lots of reasons. Mario, sometimes we cry because the sadness we feel is so great that we just can't contain it. Other times we cry because we are full of anger and we need to let it out, like a storm in the cloud that releases the rain. And after that, we become lighter, like the cloud. We cry sometimes because we don't understand the world, and our tears go in search of the answers that we need. Some days we cry because we call out for a hug, but all we get back is an echo. We cry because it helps us grow. Every tear nourishes us little by little. If we didn't cry, we'd turn to stone. Some people cry because shouting for hours does not help. And others because They try to keep everything under lock and key, but their tears find a way to escape. We cry because pain hurts. Sometimes it's on the outside and sometimes it's on the inside, deep, deep down. And tears are the best medicine. Often we cry when we run into a wall. When that happens, we don't cry because we're hurt, but because the wall seems impossible to climb. We cry because we're an immense sea caught in a storm. But once the storm passes and the sea grows calm, the waves leave patterns on the shore. Sometimes we cry because we can't find the right words. Lucky for us, tears speak an infinite language. But more than anything, sweetheart, we cry because we feel like crying, and that's the most important reason. Mario hugged his mother tightly and kissed her nose like he did when he was a baby. Thanks, Mom. I feel much better. But why are you crying? Because, my love, we can also cry when we're happy. And then there's some neat information here all about tears. And physiologically, it's also good to cry. And there's some really neat information about like what shape are tears, what are tears made of. They're made almost entirely of water, but they also contain minerals and salt. That's why sometimes our tears taste salty. But this is an excellent book as well. And I am so thankful that we have a community in which we have people who will listen to us when we cry. And we have resources that are there for us to help us feel the feelings that we're having. And I don't want to get too, feel all the feels, as they say. But if you feel like crying as an adult or a kid or whatever, this is what I remind myself. Like, it's okay to cry. That page about the cloud and feeling so much lighter when it lets loose, I know that can help. So thank you. And check out the website so you can see where you can find more information and where you can put these books on hold if you'd like. And I cry a lot for many reasons, but when I cry on our shows here, I'm just very thankful for this library, and you make it so. Thank you very much, my friends, and check out the website for real expert information.